Hi there, I'm Dr. Ute, an accredited and chartered psychologist for counseling and coaching, a fellow of the higher education, and all in all, a quite quirky therapist. These short videos are talking about important qualities around mental well-being and mental health. If you have a question or if you want to have a topic here on my YouTube channel, just send me a message. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to a video around stress. We're all stressed, right? Something we need to do, but we don't want to do, elicits stress. Something we need to do and we don't have enough time to do, elicits stress. And sometimes life throws stuff at us which we really hadn't anticipated, can elicit stress. There is a lot of theory out and about around stress, and there are a lot of myths around stress. One of the myths is that the outside world can deterministically stress us, meaning what happens to us translates to our stress response. But think about the following example. Let's say you go shopping. You're short on time, you already had a quarrel with somebody you really like, and you need to go somewhere where you don't want to go. The person in front of you now starts paying very slowly with coins and maybe has a very nice conversation with the person at the checkout desk. How do you think you react? I hazard a guess. Stressed. Now let's rewind this whole situation and let's think about the same shop, but you've just come from a beautiful lunch. You had a great conversation with a person you really care for, and you are going to a wonderful event. And you nipping in and you are getting something in the shop. There is enough time, you're not on the clock. Right in front of you is the same person again, paying with their coins, talking to the person at the checkout desk. What's happening now? Again, my guess is you are not as stressed as in the previous situation. So this idea that what happens to us deterministically creates a stress response is probably not true. There's a very beautiful, there's a very beautiful theory out there by Cox and Mackay, which looks at stress as something that needs a cognitive appraisal in order to arise not just in our psychological being, but also in our physiology. And Cox and Mackay looked at capability and demand. Let's go at capability first. So capability is our skill set, our abilities, the stuff we know, things we can do. And they are dividing the capability into our actual capability and our perceived capability. So, if you can ride a bike, that's an actual capability. If, when you are a normal bike rider, go to the Tour de France, the perceived capability and the actual capability are probably incongruent, right? Because the skill sets you are having, the abilities you are already embodying, are different to how it is either perceived or it is perceived by you. So here, we need to, of course, start to create an insight in our own capability. What is my actual capability and how is the capability perceived by myself and the world around? Now then, they are looking at demand. And demand is that what is put onto us. And when I say onto us, do not be fooled by thinking it's only the outside world that puts demand onto us. Because of course we as humans have our own demands. we are putting onto ourselves. And Cox and Mackay, again, do the same differentiation. What is the actual demand and what is the perceived demand? If you need to, let's just say, wash the dishes because you have no cup left in the cupboard, that's an actual demand. But if you say that each of the dishes you need to wash have to be cleaned to perfection, whatever that means, then the idea of perceived and actual demand already shows another level of incongruence. Does this make sense? When you think about this model about capability and demand and how actually these 4 points can interact, where you come as a solution, of course, is that the translation of stress is not as simple as thinking the person pays with the coins when they go shopping, ergo I'm stressed. But your cognition, your brain, your mind has to appraise this situation in capacity and demand, actual and perceived, in order to create a stress response. The reason why I believe this is such an important piece of knowledge Cox and Mackay brings into the world of stress and stress research is that we are not a victim any longer of situations that are brought into our world. It gives us some agency over how to manage stress. It also shows us that the stress response we are having cannot be seen away, unlinked, detached from the outside world. Which means stress blaming that I see going on quite a lot in the world just goes nowhere. Because the stress that is elicited is always elicited in the interaction between us and the world, in the interaction between the perception of demand and capability and capacity and the actual capability and capacity we are having. So where I'm going with that is that if you are a person who wants to be able to manage stress better, that one of the first steps you need to do is to have an exercise, a skill in your belt of abilities, in your toolbox, that gives you that ability to pause in order to check out what's actually going on. And as I'm a very pragmatic person, I would like to show you a very quick, very pragmatic exercise, which is called Jacobson Relaxation Technique, that you can do in order to trigger that part of the nervous system that is more in charge of calming us down. Why do I want to do that? Because when the calming down system starts to come online, it gives you a pause, it gives you a break, it gives you space to evaluate how the stress has come into your life, what's going on, and how to learn from it. Because one very incredible and very beautiful second part of the stress theory by Cox and Mackay brings into our life is that when we start managing stressful situations differently, hence not automatically any longer, but with insight, we are learning through the psychological feedback loop how we are managing them better in the future. Why? Let's come back to where we were at the beginning. capability and demand. When we learn through the feedback loop how to manage it better, of course, what increases is our capability, right? And by increasing our actual capability, we can probably match a different demand better. And therefore, the first step is to be able to create a break. And you and I are now going to do Jacobson relaxation technique. Are you ready? Okay, I want you to sit down and close your eyes. Eyes closing has no magic in it but being able to focus on your internal world. And then I want you to bring up your toes and you bring up your feet so that only the back of the heel touches the ground. And bring them up so that you really notice the tension. You notice it? And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Check in what happens there. Do you notice a little bit of a change? Do you notice nothing? Everything is okay? It's an observational exercise. Now I want you to touch your calves and notice how they feel. They should feel a little bit soft because they are relaxed. Now tense them. Make them hard as you can without injuring your body. And then we count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. What do you notice? And then we are moving up with our awareness. We are going to the thighs. And again, touch the thighs. Notice how they feel, their softness. And once you're ready, I want you to tensen your thighs. Make them rock hard, or as hard as you possibly can. A little bit harder. A little bit harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Now that we are working with the larger muscle areas, you probably notice more the differentiation between tension and relaxation. Let's go to the bum. I'm going to ask you to tighten up your bum. And if we would sit in the same room, I would see you doing that because you do a little hobble. So tighten up your bum. A bit more, a bit more, a bit more tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. We go to the belly. I'm going to ask you to think about your belly button pulling in, kissing the spine. Pull in a little bit more, a bit more, a bit more, more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. What do you notice? What's the difference? And now we go to the shoulders. Bring the shoulders up. Shoulders are kissing your ears. You can see me doing it. A little bit more, a little bit more. Always within the ability and capability of your own body. Up a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And now I want you to make a fist, right? As if you would want to hit a bag. And then, of course, you tensen the whole arm. Do it on the one side and on the other side. Tensen up a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. You see I'm shaking. That's perfectly okay. If it's in your ability, don't injure yourself. Tense a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And now we do the last part, which is the face. It's going to look rather funny, but I'll show you anyway. I want you to tension all the muscles, the tiny little muscles in your face. So your forehead, your eyes, your cheek, your nose, your mouth. I show you, you make the most beautiful grimace you can possibly make. A bit more, a bit more, a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Now check in with your body. How does your body feel? And now bring up your toes, bring up your feet, harden your thighs and your calves, tension your bum, belly button is kissing the spine, up with the shoulders, make a fist, tension your arms and all the tiny little muscles in your face. More tension, more, give me a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Now check in how your body feels. Jacobson relaxation technique, as I said before, triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, so the one system that helps us to calm down. And it's a beautiful exercise that helps you to create a space. Of course, if you don't want to do the whole exercise because you are standing in the supermarket, which is totally understandable, you might just take one part out of it, the shoulders or the fist or the belly button or the bum. Whichever one you do, focus on what it does to you and your body. It will create the necessary space for you to work stress differently. Enjoy.